Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. How are you all doing? I am doing great. Right now, kind of focused on, I think I'm just a few shards. I need to finish the fusion. Only a few days left there.
It's been 84 years.
I'm also almost there with getting Basatha. Only 5 shards left to get really the first champion that I'm actually excited about on Doom Tower Hard. Maybe Uros' Soul Cage being the other one as well. No, I don't want your pack, Plarium. Don't ruin my video. But I'm focused mainly right now on just something that probably none of you guys are doing, because I see a lot of apathy, I think, towards Hydra Clan Boss. But I'm still working on optimizing my teams. I just got my highest so far on hard difficulty. 53 million using this very, very dirty pay-to-win team. But check it out, man. We got Duchess, Krisk, Ugo, Sissia, but Tamisha putting out 21 million damage. Good God, she is a beast of a champion. And Mashal with 12 million as well. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you guys all that stuff. Today I want to talk about a champion that, man, I've been talking about quite a bit here on the channel. Today is the official guide for Hotatsu.
Bless your heart.
Now here's the deal with Hotatsu. I think this guy is incredible for the mid game, for the early game, for faction wars, and overall just a very, very solid champion, right? I mean, he might not be as good as the Frog in terms of the best epic champions, but he's very different as well, right? Very different kid, but he's one of the best support champions added, in my opinion, in the epic category over the recent history, over the last 6 months to a year or so. He's just very, very stable, and he does a lot in terms of damage mitigation. Today I have a very unique build to share with you using this champion that I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy. I think it's going to help a lot of you guys in faction wars. First of all, one of my favorite websites in the world lately has been hellhades.com. Love Hell Hades, love his website. I say that to say, very once in a blue moon, boy, do I just not see eye to eye. And the reason I say that is because you guys flagged this. I've been talking a big game about Hotatsu, right? And a lot of you guys have been like, dude, I don't know, man. Not just Hell Hades. Ayumi love. Reddit tier lists everywhere. These Google tier lists, there's a million of them out there. They all hate on this dude. And I don't know if I'm nuts or if they're just grading him on a curve of like endgame, 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 or what it is. But let me just show you, for example, right? For example, we have the hellhades.com. They give him a 3-star, very low on the ranking. And they give him like 2 or 3 stars in every dungeon, 1 star in every Doom Tower. And they go on to say, I personally would not use Hotatsu based on his current kit. Compares him to Iron Brago being a better option. I can't argue there, but Iron Brago to me is one of the best champions in the game, really. So with all that said, let's take a look at his kit and you guys can be the judge. Go in here with a total open mind to Hotatsu, right?
Yeah, I have a right to my opinion. You say, oh yeah, well I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion. Then shoot the f***.
I want to start with the stats. 1376 defense, good for an epic, very good. 96 speed, average. Attack, who cares? Useless. 17.5, average to maybe slightly below average for a support champion. On the A1, he's got 1 million books, that's a definite downside. But he does have a leech, okay? So he has a 60% leech, 65 if you pick up Sniper, which I highly recommend you guys do. Tier 5 mastery for this champion, right? So a leech on the A1, not bad. Good multipliers too on this champion, right? I want to say he has a 4 multiplier on this AoE. You can see it on the screen right now. So Rushing Death attacks all enemies, has an 80% chance of placing the big version of Decrease Attack on a 3-turn cooldown. Decrease Attack, I don't need to tell you guys, game has been out long enough. You guys are savvy. You're smart. My viewers very smart. You know, right, that Decrease Attack is very important debuff to have in terms of survivability for your team. So he has that at 80%, 85% on a 3-turn cooldown with the Sniper Mastery on his A2. On his A3, 3-turn cooldown again here. Increased defense for 2 turns, big version, and big version of continuous heal also for 1 turn. So he's got heals, he's got decreased attack, he's got increased defense on a 3-turn, and then he has leech on his A1 as well, good for bosses specifically, good for clan boss, like the Demon Lord clan boss, very good. And then Spirit Touched, his passive, removes 1 random debuff from this champion at the start of each turn. He's going to prioritize Stun, Sleep, Freeze, Fear, True Fear, Provoke, and Petrification. So he's going to be very difficult to CC this champion, which is great. That leads him to more consistently be landing his leech and his decreased attack and his increased attack or defense, excuse me, and continuous heal. And then you round out an already very solid kit with defense in all battles by 25%. The same aura that we have on Tyrell, Sandlash Survivor, Sepulture Sentinel, the best kind of support, clan boss, quintessential champions in the game. So overall, man, I give him a 4 out of 5 stars. Maybe 4.5. He's going to help out early game, mid game tremendously almost everywhere. On top of that, even the late game or early late game, you can use him in faction wars. He's going to be able to basically support your team. I'll show you his whole kit and what I did with him because I put him in a Guardian set, guys. But I just want to show you an endgame team. I'll show you some more realistic teams too. But just throw him in there on any area of the game that your team has a chance of wiping. So stage 25 Ice Golem Peak, this dude can hit hard. So I threw him in there. He's going to help activate Seer on this team. And most importantly, with the increased defense, I could have run him as an aura lead too. I kind of missed out. I shouldn't have had bad elk because I already have 100% crit rate on all these champions that needs to be, right? So Lydia and certainly the Hotatsu and Seer. Either way, guys. Even on a squad like this, he's actually just makes this run 100% consistent, right? Look at all those buffs he's adding. Helps activate that Karma Burn ability, and Seer just quick work. Level 25 dungeon, nothing for Seer, a champion like Seer. So a team like this, with Hotatsu on the squad, not only the increased defense, but again, the leech on there. It's okay if Seer dies, but she might not even die. And again, in Guardian, that's the key. Because I look at his kit and I think to myself, and I think that Guardian is an underrated set for progression in this game, which really pertains to 90% of you guys watching, 95. Most of you watching, most of you playing Raid Shadow Legends, unless you spent $1 million, spent 3 years, you're probably not in the end game, you know?
That's a you problem.
I feel like this champion is amazing. You see all those ally protection. So back to my main point. I'm asking myself, okay, what in a perfect world could I add to his kit to be even better, right? Sometimes it might be a shield set on a champion. Sometimes it might be, it could be a variety of different things, right? But on this champion, I'm thinking, maybe if I added some ally protect to his kit, he could be even better because he's very tanky. So I'll add some HP, I'll add some ally protect, and then I should be able to keep everybody alive in a Guardian set. So what does a Guardian set do for those of you who don't remember? It's easy to farm, fairly easy to farm, right? Eventually you'll get enough good 4-piece gear to put on a champion. It's like a built-in ally protect. The whole team might have wiped if not for that 10% damage mitigation. So he's absorbing, Hotatsu, 10% damage on all of my allies, and then he's healing himself every turn by 12% because I have Guardian Immortal on him. So ooh, that was close there. That was close at the end. I'm not gonna lie. That was a close one. But either way, the point remains. He puts out a decent amount of damage, 814,000 damage. Same as Lydia, basically, right? So not bad for a defensive-based champion. So he's bringing a lot to the table. Let me show you how I built him, and then we'll try him on, you know, some less endgame teams as well. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did run that a few times before the video, and it never came down to a moment like that. So, take that with a grain of salt. Let's go ahead and take a look at the champion here. So Hotatsu, if I can find the dude, Magic Affinity, obviously Shadowkin, gonna be great for faction wars. And I really want you guys to keep it real in the comments. Am I too high on this dude? Or am I crazy? Or is he really a solid champion? Hotatsu.
Bless you.
Guardian. Wearer observes 10% of all damage dealt to allied champions, and it also heals him by 10% every turn. Immortal, HP plus 15%, heals by 3%. So I said 12, I meant 13% every single turn. He's healing himself as well. So that's the Guardian gear on this champion. Masteries on this champion, you could definitely make a strong case that if I'm going to build him like this in Guardian, you might as well just go all in, put HP percentage or defense percentage on his gauntlets, sacrifice the crit rate, sacrifice that damage, that 800k damage on that run. Granted, he was you know, overshadowed by Seer, who got all the damage from those 2 first waves. So keep that in mind as well. But I could sacrifice damage, and you can see I just went War Master down the left-hand side of the skill tree here. But you could just go defense as well on this champion. You can build him so many different ways. You can even build him high resist if you wanted to, right? But I'm not as worried about resist as I would maybe a normal support champion like this because of that passive too, right? He's cleansing himself every turn. So anyway, I went support tree. The one must-have for me is sniper. We really want that decrease attack to be as consistent as humanly possible on this champion. So it helps on, sniper helps on his A2 and his A1 on the leech, right? Other than that, Master Hexer, I really love getting this mastery on this champion. In terms of stat priorities, he's a little bit of a tricky champion to build because when you look at his total stats here, we want accuracy, we want crit rate, we want speed, we want defense, we want HP. If you're gonna have him in Guardian, you need some HP, right? To soak up all that damage from all my allies. So there's a lot of stats we have to prioritize here. So let's talk about stat priorities. Defense is gonna be pretty important. His damage is based off defense. But don't, and I've talked about this before, don't just totally sacrifice HP. I see some players do this sometimes. They just go absolutely all out on defense, and then they have like 25k HP. It's like, okay, easy, bro, easy. Keep in mind, there's a lot of enemies, a lot of champions that ignore defense anyway. You need a little bit of, you know, HP, a little bit of life on the champion as well. Stat priorities: defense, accuracy, speed, crit rate. That's how I would parcel it out. Defense, accuracy, speed, crit rate in that order, then HP, I would say, or HP over crit rate, depending on how you want to build them. We'll talk about options in a second here. Accuracy, I went on the banner. I went crit damage on the amulet. Again, this is kind of threading the needle. I had the 100% crit rate on him. I do want to get some damage. I have War Master, so he's built as kind of a hybrid support and adding a little bit extra to the table. HP with decent HP ring with more HP on the substats. Again, I'm trying to sneak in maybe an HP accessory even on my defense-based champions to give them a little bit more health overall. I have crit rate. Guardian gauntlets here, if I can click on them. My game's a little laggy for whatever reason.
I can answer that for money.
Anybody noticing? I mentioned this in a previous video too, but my desktop client is a little bit laggy. I'm not sure if you guys use desktop when you're playing. Anyway, crit rate on the gauntlets, defense on the chest, speed on the boots. Now I want to reiterate again, guys, don't feel like you have to go crit rate on this champion. If we go over to his A2, has a 80% chance of placing. So it's not predicated on being critical, so you don't have to stress getting that crit rate up if you can't build him that way, okay? So keep that in mind. So that's how I built him, guys. So I could just, you know, take off if he's dying a lot, if your team is dying, but you want him in that Guardian set, you can just put HP percentage, that's what I would go with, on his gauntlets, or of course you can go defense as well. Guardian, guys, I really, really love Guardian sets, as I mentioned earlier. And keep in mind, guys, Guardian gear, you can get that from the Celestial Griffin, so just pay attention to the Doom Tower rotation, such as right now at the time of this recording, that the Celestial Griffin is there, and then just forge up some Guardian gear. It doesn't have to be Hotatsu, it can just be on any support champion that you want to have 10% of damage absorbed with a heal every turn. It's a really underrated set. It's like regen with damage absorption as well. But of course, keep in mind that you have to have a lot of health on the champion. They'll be taking a lot of damage, right? So let's go ahead and build up a team. Where do I want to show? You can use him, like I said, really clan boss, especially early clan boss. You could build a team with him as your aura lead. He'll also handle your increased defense, your decreased attack, and a leech on clan boss. I think he brings a lot to the table there, and I would stick with the same masteries and the same build as I showed you guys for clan boss. I think it's a really solid clan boss build. I'm not going to show you it because I think that you kind of get that he checks off what 2, 3, or 4 of the clan boss must-haves, even that aura. So for clan boss, if you're lacking a good aura lead, a good increased defense, a good healer, all that stuff, right? Even if he's the target of the stun on your team, he's going to cleanse that away. So you have a lot of viability on clan loss alone on this champion. Let's go ahead and just build him on a, let me see if there's a Doom Tower secret room or something in hard that I can kind of illustrate him on a all epic or epic and rare team. Be right back. All right, guys, so secret room 8 in Doom Tower hard. Let's go ahead and run him on this squad. I'm running him as an aura lead with Andrysia, a brand new epic void champion who I did a guide on last week. Check that video out if you guys are interested. But man, this team is a little redundant. I will give you that because there's 3 decrease attack champions on the squad, but I did want Grush on the team because, well, Grush is just an absolute beast of a champion, I feel like. Great healer as well. So we get heals from Grush, we get heals from Hotatsu, we get the decreased attack from basically 3 champions, so the enemy should always be mitigated their attack, which is going to be easy to keep us alive. We have increased defense from Hotatsu. We have Hotatsu in the as the aura lead as well.
God, this is going to be a long night.
We're going to see what kind of damage he can put out compared to these other champions. Overall, though, like, what a solid team. Umbral Enchantress as well for some CC. I mean, a team like this, I don't know, it's an epic, what is it? Epic defense only for Doom Tower. So you're kind of limited, but Hotatsu, I feel like it's a good showcase that you can just really, he brings so much to the table, you know? And I really do feel like, you know, if I was a player just starting out, let's say I was a free-to-play player, at least take him to 50, right? At least take him to 50, probably just take him all the way to 60 if I was free-to-play, right? If I got him on my free-to-play account, which I wish I did, I would max him out. And you guys know, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, that I am very, very stingy on, okay, so he's getting a lot of counterattack. Let's see if he can stay alive here, guys. I hope he does. I hope he does. Oh, he's going to be just fine, right? I hope there's somebody who lands like a sleep or a CC of some sort on him so we can see that cleanse as well, right, guys? But this is Doom Tower, you know, secret room, what, 7, I think? So it's difficult. These mobs have a lot of HP. They hit hard. It's not as easy as necessarily this team is making it look. However, you know, methodically, you know, we're going to make our way through. But back to my main point. Yeah, man, on a free-to-play account, geez. I feel like you hit the epic lottery. I feel like if this was a champion, you know, I don't know. There really isn't so many new champions in the game nowadays that I do feel like we've gotten a little spoiled, you know. But what do you guys think? I'm just gonna let you guys handle it in the comments. Is he a really good champion, or am I nuts? Damage wise, let's try and pay attention to his to what kind of damage he's putting out here, guys, huh? And I want to ask you guys, who do you run when you need a good defensive or a lead for your team? Who are you running? I think in terms of my favorite defensive or a lead on epics is probably still Tyrell. I can't put him in the same category as they're very different, though. They're very different, you know? Does Dr. Pierce have a defensive aura? Kind of drawn a blank if he has one or not. But Hotatsu, I'm going to tell you guys, he's kind of in the conversation, you know, of those strong champions. I would put him right there, you know. Sepulture, sorry for butchering the name as I always do. Kind of put him in that conversation because he's got heals too, you know. Got heals, increased defense, decreased attack. How many times is this guy going to tell us what he has? I feel like this video I've been repeating the same things over and over. This team just getting the job done here. He's got the Ally Protect on as well. I like that Guardian in the Immortal, right? He's able to heal himself right back up. There he goes. He's not hitting for a ton of damage. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he is, you know. He's kind of middle of the pack, so I wouldn't expect him to outdamage many of these champions, most of these champions. But let's take a look here. So we have, yeah, he did put out the same, the same amount of damage as Grush and Tyrell, but Umbral and Andrysia putting out double. So overall, pretty solid. Look at the heals, guys. And you got to consider the leech too, right? So he's putting out a lot of heals. Man, he's a very comparable champion in some ways to Grush. He's just more consistent in other ways, like obviously bringing the increased defense. I've told you 20 times. You already know what he's bringing to the table. Guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoy Hotatsu. He is my personal favorite Shadowkin epic champion. I think he's going to help a lot of you guys out, as always the case, right? you know, I mentioned the Hades website at the top of the video and Yumi Love and other people like ranking this champion poorly. As always the case, it comes down to your perspective, right? What do you value in the game? Where are you in the game? How do you look at your teams, your champions? Everybody's different in this game, and I'm sure there's plenty of champions out there that I am low on that you watching right now might be like, dude, that's my favorite champion. Are you nuts? And that to me is, I think, the inherent beauty in Raid Shadow Legends. That seems like maybe a little oxymoronic when we're not talking about just the artwork, but I like that there's so many different champions with so many different skill sets, so many different synergies in their kits, and for me, exploring new, unique champions who add, you know, a new kind of, it's not like he's doing anything new, but a new combination of all those abilities to the table. I like that. What about you guys? Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.